ya. Welcome back to Paranormasight. When we last left off, we were looking at bodies, and it was really fun, so we wanted to think about another body. And that's really cool, and that's why we're gonna go back in time for that. Also, so cool. I will get to that one day. All that matters is that I'm getting stickers, and if I don't get stickers in this episode, I've failed. I've failed Paranormasight. Yumeko Shiki arrives in Toba City, Mie Prefecture, to investigate the discovery of skeletal remains with her assistant, Soto Kiryu. All right, let's do it. Let's learn about remains. Date unknown, August 1980X. Ijika Town. Oh. You look so happy now that we've found dead bodies. Welcome, ma'am. I've been waiting for you. The site where the bones were found is a little ways offshore from this beach. You went ahead and started the investigation, I see. Thanks for that. Not at all. You clearing everything with local police meant all I had to do was arrive and inspect the remains myself. To get straight to the point, there is no doubt. Signs of a curse are clearly evident. The skeletal remains are tied to a supernatural incident. Seems I was right to trust my intuition on this one. All right then, let me hear the full report. Understood. Yeah, looking around, feeling good. Are there stickers? Sticker? A blind time. I still don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Am I blind? Her eyes are glassy. Am I using psychic powers to see? Anyways, this is my buddy, Soto. A diligent and earnest young man. His mentor, my husband, has nothing but praise for his skills, so he has my complete trust. I know I shouldn't rely on him too much, but he's so good at noticing the finer details that I often find myself doing so. He looks reliable. Surroundings. This is the town of Ijika in Toba City. Oh, it's Soto. This is the town of Ijika in Toba City. The area is a historic place known for its ama divers. Oh, I know it well. It's also famous as the filming location of one of Japan's most well-known monster films. What film? Tell me. I wouldn't know about that myself, ma'am, but you seem unusually well-versed in that area. Those old tokusatsu films are the best. You should watch some for yourself, Soto. As you wish, I'll look into it. Ijika Town. Ijika Town is a fishing settlement located within Toba City on the eastern tip of the Shima Peninsula. The area takes its name from Ijika-jima, an island offshore of the region. It is said that the hollow in the center of the island was so reflective as to resemble a mirror, leading to Yamatohime no Mikoto giving it its current name, which is written in the characters for stone and mirror. The Rias coastline is a particularly beautiful sight and is well known as a spot to watch the sunrise. It is also notable as the filming location of the first entry in one of Japan's most famous monster film series and sees many visits from fans as a result. Toba City! A city located in the northeastern tip of the Shima Peninsula, adjacent to Ise City and Shima City, along with the city itself. Its administrative area also encompasses 4 populated islands. The combined area of modern Toba City and Shima City was formerly known as Shima Province. Its coastline features one of Japan's most notable Ria coasts and is renowned not only for its marine industries but also for its popularity as a tourist destination. Having originally sprung up as a castle town of the Toba domain, the years following the Meiji era saw Toba flourish as the center of the Shima region. With an abundance of marine products available in its waters, it is also famous for being home to the highest number of active ama divers in Japan. There are many guest houses run by ama divers and fishermen along the shore, providing visitors to the area with the opportunity to enjoy fresh seafood. That sounds nice. I wish I could go to this fake island. Or fictional island, more like it. Oh, that's a pretty cloud, and it's just no stickers. I had already planned to come here to Toba and Mie Prefecture together with Soto on another case. But the news of skeletal remains being found in the area caught my eye, so I sent him ahead to investigate. As expected, it turned out to be a result of a curse, likely a troublesome one at that. Yeah, probably bad. Let's talk, Soto. Skeletal remains. I like his hand thing. His bracer, I guess. To begin, shall we review the details of the case? Is that really necessary? Summarizing may help us notice something we missed. Not a day goes past that I don't admire your diligence, Soto. My thanks. I strive to be brief. A few days ago, a fisherman off the coast here hauled up a long rod-like object. It resembled a human bone, so he notified the police. That was about 10 days ago. So he fished it up completely by chance. Following that, the police conducted an underwater investigation of the surrounding area. They discovered multiple skeletal remains in the fissure beneath the rocks. All the remains were already severely deteriorated, with each being several years to several decades old. As a result, forensics struggled to identify the victims. There was just too little to go on. Only fragments of the skull remained, so facial reconstruction was apparently not possible. Hardly surprising, in such a state. Still, with your ability, we hardly need facial reconstruction, do we? Indeed, I'll report my discoveries shortly. Yeah, my man. More skeletal remains. You know, one possibility comes to mind. Will you humor me? Is it that there are people from this bad storm? Please, go ahead. I wonder if those skeletal remains could be the victims of the Kameshima Southern Sea disaster from 5 years ago. Yeah, me and Yumeko, same brain, different eyes. Regrettably, that is not the case. Oh, we're both wrong. Oh, darn it. Yeah, me too. I'm doing the same pose. I'm not. Please, don't sound so defeated. No, it's over, Soto. Forensics confirmed 5 bodies in total, but they said that each had decomposed over a different length of time. What? Oh, meaning they didn't all die at the same time. Okay, like ritual sacrifice? Correct. The most recent appears to date back 6 years. The others go back some 10 years before that, and another 10, and another 10, and so on. 10? So roughly one body every 10 years? Indeed. I imagine that any older remains may have simply decayed entirely. Which means someone's been using that fissure as a place to dump corpses for decades. It's surrounded by rock, and with minimal currents in the area, it's unlikely they drifted there naturally. Had the bone not been fished up by chance, we'd never have known. In other words, it was an ideal site for quietly disposing of bodies. So, this was no accident. Someone did this. I was loving her facial expression, by the way. She was very like, I imagine quite some resentment must have piled up over the years. Indeed, but I've already cleansed the lingering resentment in the area. Leaving such resentment to fester could lead to a curse manifesting after all. Efficient, as always. My thanks. I like Soto a lot, actually. He's cool. But Soto should be pointing out stickers to me. Where are the stickers? Was there a sticker in the skeletal remain? There is one more point of concern that all the remains have in common. What? Oh, go on. I was like, what is it? Each body bore a clean, precise cut, clearly severed. What? Severed? You're saying they were sliced straight through the bone? Oh, she has some great facial expressions and poses. Exactly. Each was sliced down through the bone with a clean cut as smooth as the last. Forensics noted that reproducing such uniform cuts would be extremely difficult. Even with the industrial equipment, such precision would have been unachievable decades ago. One possible explanation is that a master swordsman wielding a razor-sharp katana cleaved each of them in a single stroke. Yes, well, that would certainly explain it. But warriors don't exactly run around with swords in this day and age. Which brings us to the possibility of a curse, I suppose. Correct. If the cuts were made by supernatural means, the rules change. And as it turns out, there were traces of a curse at each of the severed points. It was just a matter of time until we found one. Also, for the briefest moment, I glimpsed a curse echo. Oh shit. That looked like a warrior in armor. We have a curse echoes in this again? Yeah, baby. A curse echo in armor? Wow. He's pretty hype, honestly. Yes, judging from the crest on its armor and given our location, it appears to be a curse tied to the Heike. I don't know what that is. Right, the Heike. You are familiar with the Heike, I assume. No, actually, I quite literally admitted that right now. The Heike? I'm not too sure. The Heike were a branch of the Taira clan, a warrior family who rose to power at the end of the Heian period. From their base in the Ise province, they expanded their influence, reaching great heights under Taira no Kiyomori. But in their pride, they were defeated by the Genji in what is now known as the Genpei War. Ah, yes, of course, I knew that. The tale of the Heike preserved just how prosperous they were before they fell. Many who lived through the downfall carried deep regrets. Their resentment is especially persistent. Many traces remain even today, and they can be quite meddlesome. Indeed, you hear all about it all over the place. I guess even by expert standards, it's quite the problem. Yeah, the Heike. Abbreviated genealogy of the Heike. Kiyomori. Iemori, Tsunemori, Norimori, Yorimori, Tadanori. Okay, I'm just saying a bunch of words now. Names, technically. The Heike were part of the Ise Taira clan, which was itself an Ise-based branch of the Taira clan, a prominent samurai family in the Heian period. Although the entire Ise Taira clan was greatly influential, Heike refers to the particularly prosperous lineage of Taira no Mazamori, Taira no Tadamori, and Taira no Kiyomori. Okay. I'm scared that I'm gonna have to say a bunch of names in great unison now. Well, in quick unison. Known as one of the most prominent samurai families of the Heian period alongside the Minamoto clan, the Taira clan was originally based in the Kanto region. However, following Taira no Masakado's uprising against the central government in the year 935, and its suppression at the hands of Taira no Sadamori, the latter's son, Korehira, moved to Ise province, where he came to wield significant political power. This was the start of what would become known as the Ise Taira clan. Damn. Those were words. There was a lot of words. 4 generations from Korehira, Taira no Masamori, consolidated the family's influence in Ise. His successor, Tadamori, was granted permission to enter the imperial court in 1132, eventually attaining a rank equal to that of nobility. The distinguished military exploits of Tadamori's son, Taira no Kiyomori, further led to Kiyomori's promotion to Daijo Daijin, Chancellor of the realm, the highest possible governmental rank in 1167. In 1180, Kiyomori's daughter, Noriko, married into the imperial family. and her son ascended the throne as emperor, enabling the Heike to consolidate their monopoly on political authority. Wow, that's power. Thus, the Taira clan came to dominate the political landscape of the time. Such was their wealth and power that one member of the clan is said to have remarked that all those who did not belong to the Taira clan were to be considered people of no position. However, this golden age of the Taira clan did not last long. Their arrogant rule and dictatorial grasp on power led to many turning against the Taira clan, and the stirrings of rebellion soon came to a head, with several prominent figures joining forces in a bid to overthrow them. In the midst of the resulting years of warfare, Kiyomori died of illness in March 1181. Despite losing one of their key members, the Taira clan continued to struggle against their opponents, but to no avail. In 1185, they were finally defeated in the Battle of Dan no Ura, and many of its members, including Kiyomori's grandson, Emperor Antoku, who was still a child at the time, were lost beneath the waves of Dan no Ura, burdened with unfulfilled ambitions. It is said that the Kusanagi no Tsurugi sword, one of the 3 imperial regalia of Japan, regarded since ancient times as a symbol of imperial authority, was also lost to the sea that day. Okay. Is that going to become relevant? Am I going to find that underwater? After their defeat, the surviving members of the Taira clan, now disgraced as fallen warriors, scattered across the country and lived out their days in hiding. Even to this day, legends of Taira clan survivors persist in various regions across Japan. That's exciting. Sounds crappy to be them. What's more, the katana that cursed Echo carried. Oh shit. I believe it may have been the famed blade Nukemaru. Damn, Nukemaru. Yes, a blade passed down through the Heike, once wielded by Taira no Tadamori. I see. It would seem your love of swords has proved rather useful here. So what you're saying is that these skeletal remains were cut and killed by the power of Tadamori's curse? I can't say it was Tadamori himself, but I am confident it was a curse from someone within the Heike. At the very least, it offers an explanation for those mysteriously perfect cuts. But the bodies being dumped every decade, surely that can't be the curse too, can it? Correct. I imagine that part likely involves further intervention by someone else. So, this wasn't an accident by some spontaneous curse. There's a perpetrator out there. Indeed. However, I can't imagine any psychic with enough power to wield such a curse would dispose of bodies so poorly. My theory is that someone is using a curse stone. They are killing through its curse, then discarding the bodies. A curse stone? Think of it as a talisman that lets even those without spirit sense use the power of curses. They are created when intense resentment fuses with a suitable relic. That sounds dangerously convenient. Yeah, I was actually thinking of the curse stones in the first game. I guess the curses of that one kind of got attached to those little figures or like carved out pieces of wood that, man, what's her name? It's been a little while, but, whatever. It was one of the girls, it was the daughter of the detective who was like really into that crap. I shouldn't call it crap. I honestly really like what it looks like. But yeah, no, I think it's very interesting that they attach themselves to a suitable vessel, so it's interesting. Maybe it has something to do with the attachment of the spirit or the person to that art, maybe. There were a few incidents involving curse stones in Tokyo last year, actually. Didn't you hear? Oh, now that you mention it, that somewhat rings a bell. Yeah. A type of curse tool that allows even people without any spirit sense to wield curses. As long as the tool meets the above criteria, Items of any shape or size may be referred to as curse stones. Many curse stones have conditions that must be fulfilled to use them, often based on the spiritual power and the characteristics of the curse itself. If a curse stone has low spiritual power, it may only be possible to use it under specific circumstances, such as when under the influence of the Feast of Shadows, a spell that heightens the potency of certain types of spiritual energy. Feast of Shadows, huh? Feast of Shadow. Okay. So, in short, whoever's behind this possesses a stone imbued with the Heike's curse, and they use it to kill someone roughly every decade, dumping the body into the sea. Yes, that aligns with the evidence. Thank you for the summary. It's I don't think it's a ritual, though. Every 10 years? Why every 10 years? Oh, I get to talk about skeletal remains again. Now then, about those skeletal remains. Were you able to use your Shagan, Soto? Oh yeah, I forgot we were doing that. Yes, I did. It only worked on the most recent body, though. The one from 6 years ago. By viewing part of the remains, I was able to reconstruct a portrait sketch of how he looked when he was alive. Here's a copy. I've already provided one to the police as well. Impressive. That ability of yours remains quite the asset. Not always. There are times when the vision just doesn't come through. It's far from infallible. I mean, better to have it than not, right? Besides, there are those who could simply speak directly with the victim's spirit and ask who did it. Even so, none of these methods would hold up as admissible evidence in court. It's true. At least, but as a lead in our investigation, it's more than enough. Excellent work. Thank you. We had the police compare this sketch against missing people from 6 years ago. No matches were found. Darn. Would have made things much easier. Detective Ide is continuing the investigation. Ah, the detective with the local police. I've heard he's good, so let's hope he proves it. He is good, actually. I like him. Ah, yes. Case of multiple human skeletons were recovered from a deep fissure on the Toba seabed. The initial estimate indicated that there were at least 5 bodies that had been disposed of there. The following information has not been made available to the public. Victims' identities unclear. All victims are male. Each body is thought to have been disposed of at different times. Why are all victims male? The most recent body dates to about 6 years ago. Facial sketch of this individual obtained using Sotokuryo's Shagan ability. The other remains show signs of gradual aging, with the oldest dating back more than 30 years. Although the presence of the older remains has also been confirmed, they have completely decayed and it is impossible to tell how old they are. They were in the water. It is unlikely that the bodies could have drifted into the fissure naturally, so it is thought that someone has been discarding them there every few years. Each skeleton shows signs of a clean, precise cut inflicted by a sharp blade. Traces of a curse were also detected from around the severed sections. The victims are believed to have been killed by a curse wielded by someone connected to the Heike. Very fun. Skeletal remains. Say, Soto, that sketch of yours. Maybe we should show it to some of the locals. Ah, good point. Someone might recognize him if they were around here 6 years ago. If we can identify the victim, it could help us trace the one who used the curse. I guess we can't just leave things be now that we know there is a curse involved. Honestly, I'd rather not deal with it. There you go again. Are you sure that's something you should be saying out loud? Obviously not. I just wanted to get this over with and go home. That's all. Yes, we all know how much you love your home. Soto's face is the best. And now there's this cursed stone imbued with the curse of Heike. This whole thing is turning into quite a headache. Even with so little to go on, Soto deduced all this. Pretty impressive. I'll have to remember to give him kudos later. Hell yeah. Gotta give him some kudos. State of the sea. You can see the sea from here all the way to Kamishima. Do you sense anything out there, Soto? Yes, I do. The waters south of Kamishima are saturated with the powerful presence of the curse of the raging waves. I can sense it even from this distance. That's how strong it is. Is that so? Looking out to sea, can't see a thing. I just hope this means we've made it in time. Even during the disaster 5 years ago, the energy was never this overwhelming. The seal has broken. There's no doubt about it. Wait, did I break that seal? So, it's already broken. That isn't good. Wait, was that me when I was going underwater? Uh-oh. The sea still seems calm, though. Does the storm not break out immediately? Yes, sometimes it seems to be holding it back for now. Something seems to be holding it back for now. Oh, so there's a silver lining at least. It seems stable for the moment. We probably have 2 or 3 days of safety. Then, we've got a bit of breathing room. Perhaps there's still something we can do. Oh, okay. Curse of the Raging Waves. A curse that causes an outbreak of turbulent waves and violent storms in the seas around Kamishima. It is said that the curse was born from the resentment of the former residents of Taishima, an island once located to the south of Kamishima, after someone brought about its destruction. What? Damn. Some believe that several of the disasters that have struck Kamishima in the past were actually caused by this curse in some manner, including the Kamishima South Sea disaster that occurred 5 years ago. The person accused of bringing the curse to Kamishima was called the Raging Waves Curse Bearer, and was shunned by the island's inhabitants. That's Kuza's mom. Hell yeah. Like... Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh well. I'll look at it later. Soto, let's talk more. I hope we can do something about the curse of the raging waves while it's still being held back. Yes, but despite all efforts, we still haven't found a way to lift the curse. We might have quite a struggle ahead of us. That's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? We have no idea where your ancestors' keepsake is, either. Oh, yeah. I apologize on behalf of my family. Ma'am? Behind you. What? Behind me? I'm ready. Okay, so she's just normal. Okay, well, why would you just stand there, lady? Who is that? Just someone from town passing by? Okay. Oh. Ah, she bolted. Soto, after her. On it. Yeah, Soto, go. Hey, stop. Let me go. I didn't do nothing wrong. I have apprehended the suspect. Good work. Sorry for the rough handling. Mind helping us out a bit? What were you doing here? Why did you run? What? Don't get smart with me. You're the suspicious ones, sneaking around and poking into things. You think folks won't be wary with shady types like you wandering through town? Ah, I see. Sorry if we gave you a scare. We're with the police. Nothing shady here. You're with the police? Seriously? You heard about the skeletal remains found nearby, yes? That's what we're looking into. You don't look like police. Say, do you live around here? There's something I'd like you to take a quick look at. Do you recognize this face at all? We believe he may have been around here about 6 years ago. Huh? Nope. Don't know him. I see. I don't trust this woman. Then, could you point us in the direction of someone who might know about people coming and going in town? No idea. Ask whoever you want. Can I go now? I've got nothing to do with this. Don't know a thing. All right. Sorry for holding you up. Okay, so she's suspicious. What a peculiar woman. It was like her mind was somewhere else entirely. Well, either way, we should talk to more people in town. Agreed. Also, could you ask around and find out who that woman is? Of course. Several hours later, what have I been up to? Ma'am, I've learned a few things. Excellent, let's hear it. I'm thinking. We split up to ask around town, but all the leads I found didn't actually lead anywhere. I'm just not cut out for this kind of legwork. That's how it is. The port and town center are down that way, so this area is technically the outskirts. It's a quiet town, so a stranger loitering here would definitely attract attention. That's a good point. Yes, it is. But where? Where's the stick? Oh my god, a sticker! Oh shit, is that a duck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Maverick Manny. Hell yeah. That's a Manny. It's a mandarin duck. If you've never seen one, they're cool looking. They got crazy colors. The guys specifically. I think the girl ducks are normal because they don't have to fight for attention. About the portrait sketch. I showed the sketch of the victim to several townsfolk. However, it would seem that no one here recognized him at all. Unfortunate. I suppose chances are he wasn't from this area to begin with. Guess we'll have to place our hopes on Detective Ide then. Looking happy, my dude. He didn't so much as flinch at the thought of tedious door-to-door investigation. Not to mention he's good at it. Having him here is a huge help. My thoughts exactly. I'm like, damn, you're just doing all the legwork. You don't suppose we might be working with a bad sketch here? You needn't worry about that. I'm confident in the likeness. It should be a near-perfect match. I like the zoom in. You're right. I'm sure it's close. Sorry for doubting you. Yeah. What the heck, girl? About the woman. I also asked around about the woman we encountered earlier. Apparently, she isn't originally from this town. Oh, is that so? Indeed. Apparently she wandered into town about 5 years ago. Okay. She's been living alone in a cheap rental apartment on the outskirts of town ever since. When she first arrived, she had nothing but an old wooden box which she was clutching as if it were very dear to her. Nothing but an old wooden box. Supposedly, she used to work as an ama diver. Around when she first moved here, she'd occasionally go diving for fish. But these days, she keeps to herself, and no one ever sees her diving anymore. No one really knows how she supports herself, and many of the islanders find her unsettling. Perhaps she fled from something and moved her life here. I was gonna say moved on with her life. I was like, what? No, that's not it. That was suggested, yes, but she's never spoken about her past, so no one knows for sure. Although, according to her landlord, she's never been late on rent, and she's never caused any problems either. Still, it seems odd she gets so worked up about strangers coming to town. Doesn't seem like she's in any position to be worrying about that. You think she might be hiding something? It's possible. Her attitude changed the moment we said we were with the police. Perhaps she was keeping watch over the coast where the bodies were dumped, waiting to see if someone showed up. Right. I mean, the most recent body is from 6 years ago, and she arrived in town 5 years back. The timing is rather suspicious when you look at it like that. We'd best keep an eye on her. Agreed. Were you able to get her name? Apparently, her last name is Somikawa, but I didn't manage to get her first name. Somikawa? Why does that name sound so familiar? You've heard it before? I think so, but I can't quite remember where. But I'm a woman who cast off her past long ago. I guess I shouldn't let it bother me. What? What does that mean? You cast off your what? Not this again. Let's leave any time-consuming background checks to Detective Ide. Very well, I'll inform him. Yeah. Somikawa, a woman living in Toba. Although she occasionally does work as an ama diver, it is unclear who she is and where she came from. She apparently showed up in Toba about 5 years ago with nothing but a grubby wooden box to her name. It has been living there ever since. And has been living there ever since. Hey. Your boy is happy. Guess there's not much else to do besides talk. Oh yeah, about the woman. So, this means the woman might have been marking us since we got here. It's possible. I apologize for not noticing sooner. Even a moment's lapse can expose one to a curse. I was careless, but I won't let it happen again. You can be cursed that easily? That's terrifying. What a world we live in. Yeah. That concludes all the information I gathered from my inquiries. That helps a lot. Thanks. Shall I summarize our next steps? Yes, I suppose we need to do something about all this. Let's see. About the unidentified skeletons. Regarding the unidentified skeletons, until we can identify the victim from the sketch, we have no other leads to move forward. I believe this is best left in Detective Ide's hands. Yes, agreed. And I think the same goes for that Somikawa woman from earlier. We'll have Detective Ide look into her. It's nice to have someone we can rely on. Agreed on that end, too. In other words, we can safely leave the skeleton case to him for now. Yes, though we should remain vigilant regarding the curse stones. Yes, about curse stones of raging water. Regarding our main objective, or the so-called curse of the raging water, without knowing how to lift it, there's not much else we can do right now. I don't suppose there's a chance you'd be able to break the curse using brute force. You're quite good at that. It's certainly an option if worst comes to worst, but I can't say I have high hopes it would work. I guess it would be more realistic to try and find some clues about the whereabouts of your ancestors' keepsake instead. Indeed, it is said that that item may hold the key to lifting the curse of the raging water waves. But even the location of the map pointing to that keepsake has unfortunately been lost to time. Although the map was said to be hidden inside a model of a mermaid mummy. Damn. One rumor says it was sold overseas during the Edo period. That doesn't sound promising. If we can't find it, I guess we're back to trying to break the curse with brute force. But to even consider that route, we need much more intel from the island. Which is why I need to head to Kamishima. And at the very least, advise the locals to evacuate. Yes, hopefully someone of influence there will believe us about the curse of the raging waves. Is something wrong? No, it's just that one of the islanders I spoke with seems to be calling me over. Something may have happened. I'll go find him. Please do. Yeah, we're doing it. Please doing. Ma'am. What is it? The person who called me over shared a new piece of information. They were told to keep it a secret, but opened up since we're with the police. Go on. Earlier this morning, down by the shore, they apparently found something that resembled a corpse of a mermaid. A mermaid? Really? The same person reported it to a local authority. And it was immediately ordered to tell no one, not even the police. You're kidding me. The local authority then contacted an unknown individual. Okay. Soon after, someone came and secretly retrieved the mermaid corpse. Wow. You think they're trying to be immortal? That couldn't be more suspicious, could it? Exactly. They were uneasy about the whole thing, which is why they confided in me. What shall we do? They described the mermaid, what the mermaid looked like. Yes, they said from the head to the shoulders, it was human, but below, that was entirely fish. Huh. So it was not like the classic mermaid from fairy tales, it would seem. I guess not. Only the head was human? They also said it was completely dried out, almost mummified. The face was unrecognizable. But they thought it resembled a local, a diver named Tamiko Tsuma. What? Apparently, she went diving alone this morning and hasn't returned. Damn. It's likely what worried the witness the most. That is troubling. Damn it, just what we needed. More things to deal with. First things first, let's deal with this mermaid story. Come on. Mermaid, mermaid, mermaid. Oh, we got so many things we're doing with our detective buddies. That's cool. I do like them a lot. I do miss our youngins, though. Hopefully we get there. A mermaid corpse has been discovered on the beach near Ijika town. While Yumeko and her partner are investigating its whereabouts, they run into an important local figure. I do. Date unknown, afternoon. Ise-Shima Estate. Mr. Ise-Shima, thank you for agreeing to meet with us on such short notice. I understand you're a busy man. Not like I have much choice when it's some bigwig from the prefectural police badgering me to do so. So, you're Shiki from Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. Security Division, was it? Ha! And here I thought you were just some housemaid. You sure you're from the police in that getup? Well, I am primarily a housewife by trade, but that's hardly important right now. You're also known as Unkakudono, I believe. After hearing so many rumors, it's an honor to make your acquaintance. Rumors, eh? Unkakudono! Yoshiatsu Yamashina. What does that mean? He's 70? You're old, sir. He's a tycoon, I see. A wealthy tycoon who owns multiple companies and swaths of land, particularly in the Tsu and Ise areas. Born in the Taisho period, unmarried. His family first came into business in the Edo period, traveling from town to town selling talismans, miscanthus reed hoops, and other items to ward off evil spirits. During the Meiji period, this business expanded into a trading company, and the Yamashina family became prominent contributors to the development of the region. All right. Born to the heir of the Yamashina family business and the daughter of a noble family, Yoshiatsu grew up in an affluent environment where he received a thorough education tailored to gifted children. Following the end of the war, Yoshiatsu inherited the company assets in his 30s, but was quick to sell off all the shares he owned, using the proceeds to buy and sell real estate and stocks, a practice that made him extremely wealthy. After amassing his fortune, he showed a keen interest in investing in ambitious young people, actively mentoring those he took a particular liking to. This approach led to the emergence of many successful businessmen, which included Shinobu Wakamura of Kamishima. Oh, figure. Those who have received Yamashina's support view him with both gratitude and a sense of awe bordering on reverence, referring to him as Unkakudono, a title that evokes a figure elevated above the clouds. Oh. Yamashina has always shown a strong attachment to wealth, even going so far as to partake in illicit activities such as illegal donations, tax evasion, insider trading, and media control, all in an effort to garner ever more status and money. In the shadow of the many success stories enabled by his support, many more of his beneficiaries have fallen into bankruptcy or been arrested, fueling endless unsavory rumors about him to this day. Yamashina himself, however, seems to be unconcerned by these rumors, considering anything that does not directly harm him to be beneath his notice. All right. Even as a lifelong bachelor, he has surrounded himself with many followers, both publicly and privately, and has never lacked for anything to satisfy his personal needs. A few years ago, he began to seriously consider the issue of a successor, driven by his determination that his beloved fortune should never fall into the hands of someone untrustworthy. Perhaps for this reason, he began to develop a keen fascination with immortality. Oh, around the same time. And it is said to be secretly investing vast amounts of money into research on the topic. Not a surprise. He's a big immortality man, huh? Yes, I hear you've been doing some, under-the-table research into immortality. And so what if I am? Well now, I wouldn't have expected you to be such a dreamer, but it does make you just a bit more relatable. You can laugh all you want. What's it got to do with the police anyway? It seems on this particular occasion, it has quite a bit to do with the police, unfortunately. You don't say. Where's the sticker? Oh my god, a sticker. Yeah! Mockingbird number 9. What are you? Who are you? Kiting killer. Or kidding killer? Either way. Cool last name. I like your outfit, bud. Nothing else I care about in this area. Let's leave, Soto. Surroundings. These splendid gardens all fall within the grounds of Mr. Yamashina's Ise City estate. Part of me wonders why he needs so much space when he doesn't have a family. But I suppose he has an image to maintain. I guess so. I'm gonna think. After looking into the corpse of the mermaid found earlier this morning, it seems highly likely that it was taken into the custody of Mr. Yamashina here. He's quite the big shot around here with plenty of weight to throw around both politically and financially. Of course, all the local police know of him and of his moniker, Unkaku Dono. We had to get one of the higher-ups to act as an intermediary to even get a meeting with him. Personally, I'm happy as long as we can get the mermaid corpse back from him. Although I certainly won't complain if he can tell us anything about the curse as well. I hear he's quite the curmudgeon, so we'll have to watch our step when dealing with him. It's gonna be a pain in the ass, huh? Let's look at Soto. People like Yamashina have a tendency to underestimate me whenever I meet them alone. Having someone intimidating like Soto with me gets them to take me more seriously. I'm glad he's here with me today. Check this out. Nice. Actually, I just want to check something super quick. I think it's my settings. Just want to make sure the audio's okay. Yeah. We're good, we're good. Okay. I guess I'll talk to Soto. I'm amazed you're able to get an appointment with him this quickly. Yes, and all thanks to Detective Ide. It would seem he's quite the capable fellow. Yeah, sick dude. Alright, well, guess that's it. Oh. This is Yoshiatsu Yamashina. He's a tycoon with multiple properties and companies to his name, mostly based here in Ise-Shima. He's long been rumored of being involved in various shady dealings. Special Investigations has had his eye on him for a while now, but they haven't managed to find any concrete evidence so far. It seems he has a knack for pinning the blame on his subordinates before finding a way to slip away. Needless to say, he and the police are quite familiar with each other by this point. Though I don't doubt he has local police chiefs and politicians under his thumb behind the scenes. There's no need for me to get involved in all that. I'll be satisfied as long as I get the information we need from him. Think? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's true. I can look around while I think. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'll get straight to the point. I believe you took a mermaid corpse into your possession this morning? Yeah? What? That corpse is linked to an ongoing case. We came here to ask you to release it into police custody. No idea what you're talking about. Of course, you will get something in return. We have some information I'm sure you'll find quite profitable in exchange. Like I said, no idea what you're on about. But if that's all you came here for, then scram. Oh, pity. I really thought you'd be interested in what we had to share. Assuming you really are interested in immortality. Wait, what is this? I noticed this before. Am I okay? Well, I suppose we barely know each other. It's only natural you'd be wary of our intentions. What do you say to a little chat to get to know each other better, Mr. Unkakudono? Damn. Apparently he wears that crested hakama every day, not exactly casual wear for most people. Wearing something like that in this summer heat, that's commitment to keeping up appearances. Well, yeah. About Yamashima. Let me see, actually. Yeah, about Yamashima. I hear you've been putting quite a bit of effort into training up the younger generation recently. What's your take on today's youth? Useless, the lot of them. Bunch of pushovers that have let all this new generation tripe go to their heads. We're the ones who built this country back up after the war, but they're out there strutting around like they own the place, far too big for their britches. My, what a scathing review. Would our resident member of the new generation like to comment at all? Please, don't call me that. I hear you've been searching for a successor, though. Given your strong opinions on the matter, I take it you're struggling? Though I can see why that could lead to a desire for immortality. After all, there's no need to cede your legacy to someone else if you can remain in the reins yourself, That might have been true when I started my research. Oh, I take that isn't the case now. I'm no spring chicken. The thought of living for hundreds of years like this isn't exactly appealing anymore. I don't see much point in immortality if I'm already long past my prime. Well, that certainly is different from the rumors. My apologies for jumping to conclusions. You have my wholehearted agreement that immortality doesn't necessarily bring happiness, though. Let me clear up one more thing while we're at it. I've already decided on my successor. Oh. Turns out the perfect candidate was right under my nose the entire time. I haven't told them yet, but they're a sharp one. They'll do a fine job. Is that so? I'm glad to hear it. I suppose that would mean that you no longer have any need for immortality then. Who said I wasn't still interested? It simply has nothing to do with my successor. I still intend on continuing my research for medical advancement, you understand. Think of it as doing my bit for society. You lot are always quick to assume the worst of whatever I do. How about you mind your own business for a change? Well, there's not much we can say to that. We'll try to be more discerning from now on. Okay. I've already chosen my successor. No need to harp on about it anymore. Already written up my will and passed it off to my lawyer. You be sure to let your friends at the police know, too. Damn. What a silly man. By the way, you're obviously not some run-of-the-mill cop. Who are you? Why, I believe I mentioned it when I introduced myself. I'm just a simple housewife. A likely tale. Is it? Is it likely? Plus, that fellow next to you also got a strange air about him. He's no ordinary person, is he? My, how observant of you. I suppose you could say that. Yes. Heh, doesn't take a genius to see it. One of them phony psychic types, are you? Wait, you believe in immortality and pour tons of money into it, but you're just gonna call someone a phony psychic type? Damn, this dude's stupid. Gahaha, hit a nerve, did I? There are far too many of your kind around lately. Cozying up to those in power by feeding them a bunch of nonsense. Liars and cheaters, all of you. It's very funny, but this is exactly what he does, so I guess everything he says is invalid. You seem to have quite the chip on your shoulder about this, Mr. Yamashina. Don't know if it's because of this occult craze going around, but I've seen far too many folks get taken in by that tripe. So, occult craze. Spiritual phenomena. The supernatural. Aliens. Cryptids. Lost civilizations. Extrasensory perception. The list goes on. Such unexplainable phenomena are quick to take on a life of their own. A plesiosaur named Nessie living in the Loch Ness. Sightings of mythical creatures like the Tsuchinoko or Hibagon. The urban legends of the Kuchisake Onna and Hanako-san. Television reports of spoon-bending psychics. Documentaries featuring spirit photography and UFOs that become the talk of the school the next day. These are only a few examples of stories that have captivated the public's interest. Magazines specializing in paranormal phenomena continue to thrive, with no end to the craze in sight. It's true, we're like in the 1980s. So, those magazines must have been hype. That Wakamura over at Kamishima's is one of them. Talk about a waste of potential. Wakamura? Can't say I care much about who you are anymore. You going around with some phony psychic tells me all I need to know. Yeah. Damn, this dude is a dumbass. How dare you? Soto, calm down. He can think what he wants. I mean, I think it's hilarious that he thinks mermaids and immortality are real. Real enough to spend money on, and then to just immediately sign off a phony psychic because he does exactly that without pretending to be psychic, in quotations. Hate this kind of person. But then again, it's the kind of person who dies alone, usually. About mermaids, there is one thing I should warn you about. Eating the flesh of that mermaid you found won't grant you immortality. And what would you know about that? Jeez, what a dumbass. Well, you know, one hears all sorts of things in this day and age. I don't know where it came from, but there seems to be a legend that eating mermaid flesh will grant one immortality. All I wanted to say is that it's just that, a legend. It has no basis in reality at all. How can you be so sure? Just think about it. If that legend were true, wouldn't it be strange that no confirmed immortals have been found? Yeah, who's to say they aren't just living in hiding? The legend of Yao Bikuni is passed down in over 100 places across Japan, yet not a single verifiable immortal has ever even been found to show for it. So you mean to say all those legends were fake? Please, what? You just yelled out phony psychic, and you're going to say those legends are fake? You're going to say those legends are totally real? Come on, man. Don't be an idiot. So, you mean to say all those legends were fake? Please. Even if just one of those tales is true, there's always the chance there's an immortal hiding away somewhere. This is terrible logic. You can't live your life doing that randomly with every subject you run into. I see. You really are quite the dreamer, aren't you? I figure you were trying to bluff me out of that mermaid corpse for some reason or other. But now I'm sure of it. That thing's hiding some sort of secret, isn't it? Something you don't want me to find out. Yeah, I hate this dude. Hopefully he dies by the end. Probably won't, but hey, one can dream. I'm a dreamer too. So, you admit you have the mermaid corpse then? Oh, he got wrecked. Oh, don't worry. We assumed as much from the start. If I'm not mistaken, that mermaid was in a sort of mummified state, no? I doubt you'll be eating it as it is. Surely there's no harm in handing it over. So you can hog it for yourself? You won't fool me that easily. You don't think that a rare specimen like that ought to be placed in the care of a proper research institute? I'm saying that I'll get a specialist research institute to study it. Problem solved. I suppose so. I'll make sure the mermaid gets studied properly. Don't you worry about that. Oh, okay. Here. By the way, you're quite well connected around these parts, if I'm not mistaken. This doesn't have anything to do with what we came here to talk about. But I was wondering if you happen to recognize the person in the sketch. It seems he lived in the Ise-Shima area around 6 years ago. Nope, never seen him. I assume you've heard the news about the old human bones found on the seabed. This is a sketch of one of the victims from that case. You sure you have no idea who it could be? First I've heard of it, actually, and got no interest in things that have nothing to do with me. Okay, Mr. Wakamura. Who might this Wakamura be? Wakamura? He's one of my proteges. He's the one currently in charge over on Kamishima. Used to have high hopes for that one, but that changed when he came under the thrall of some phony sorcerer in Tokyo. A phony sorcerer in Tokyo? You heard right. Since then, he's been no end to his nonsense. Buying properties out in the mountains, changing company names, all because of something this sorcerer whispered in his ear. He even told me the layout of my house was unlucky, and tried to get me to renovate the place. Just recently, he was going on about some curse causing a big storm. Oh, that sort of rubbish. A storm caused by a curse, you say? He even said the storm 5 years ago was caused by the same curse. He's been trying to wheedle me into helping him find some way to stop it. But I'm done with him and his ramblings. Man's clearly a lost cause. He'll be coming over here tomorrow morning, but I'm thinking it's time to have someone else take the reins over on Kamishima. I see, so even though you believe in immortality, you refuse to associate with anything to do with the occult. And you do? I figure someone claiming to be a cop would have more sense than that. You didn't answer the question, dumbass. How are you meant to solve crimes if criminals can just pull out curses left and right? You don't have an imagination, clearly, even though you believe in immortality. You won't find me disagreeing there. So what exactly has this Wakamura been saying about this curse? Hell if I remember. Why don't you go to Kamishima and ask the man yourself? Maybe we will. Thank you for the information. Can I do other stuff? Can I go blind? Whoa! No, wait, I already got that. I was excited for a moment. I'm like, a sticker? Oh. Okay, let's talk, my man. Wakamura. Is there anything you can tell us about the phony sorcerer this Wakamura is so devoted to? Wakamura went on about how there was some big shot who appeared on television. I never heard of him. As I said, just ask him yourself. Of course, we'll be sure to do so. How about this then? If you agree to give up the mermaid, we'll tell you what we know in return. For someone who doesn't seem to believe in the occult, you seem awfully fixated on this mermaid and immortality, which suggests to me you found something you consider quite conclusive. Bah, what are you on about now? Well, I happen to know a bit more about mermaids than most people. Ma'am, are you sure? It's fine. I had the opportunity to do some research into them a while back, you see. You don't say, and... Well, mermaids do indeed have the ability to grant a human immortality. Ha! I knew it! More precisely, individuals granted immortality in this way are known as 800-year immortals. So they have a lifespan of 800 years. That's right. As the name suggests, they gain 800 years of remaining life. During this time, they won't age a day, and even if they die, they'll resurrect immediately. Okay. Sounds like a real blessing. No, I'm afraid it's anything but. Oh, I see. The one who defies the very laws of nature like that is no longer human. They're an anomalous being that should not be allowed to exist. As such, our position requires that any such individuals we find are dealt with as swiftly as possible. Yamashima. Indeed, this immortality was originally a curse mermaids placed upon humans. A curse? Immortality is neither a blessing nor salvation for the living. It's a curse that robs them of the ability to die. None of those who have become 800-year mortals have found happiness. Not one. It renders living among the other humans impossible, and makes them an outcast from society. Of course, there are a few years at first when life will be tolerable. But after that, every meeting ends in parting. You outlive whoever you love and or are loved by. And even if you find acceptance, it will only be for a time. You will always be shunned eventually. You'll experience this over and over for 800 years. 800 years, unable to die, with loneliness as your constant companion. This is why so many see no other recourse than a life of monastic seclusion, just as Yao Bhikkhuni did. I suppose that makes sense. Still, there'll always be those who seek immortality. Always have, always will be. You think so? I, for one, struggle to see the appeal. In any case, there are also certain conditions that must be met for this curse of immortality to be effective. Eating mermaid's flesh alone isn't enough to make you an 800-year immortal. Oh, and what exactly are these conditions? Sorry to disappoint, but I'm not aware of the specifics there myself. 800-year immortal. A person who has gained an 800-year lifespan after being cursed by a mermaid. Someone who ingests part of the body of a mermaid that meets certain conditions will be cursed and become a being known as an 800-year immortal. Once cursed, the individual's own body is lost, and a provisional body is reconstructed using the parts of the mermaid ingested as a medium. Whoa, that's gnarly. Their soul is then transferred to their provisional body, which then they are able to control as if it were their own, with their consciousness presiding over their soul and body from the head. As such, they could already be considered to be more spirit in nature than human. Makes me think of the first game a lot. If the individual is fatally wounded or contracts an illness that results in their death, their body will instantly be restored to its default state, allowing them to revive. In the event they lose any body parts, their heart will treat the largest remaining part of them as their main body and regenerate any lost parts from there, with the removed parts subsequently vanishing. This even occurs in the event that the lost body part is the head. However, these individuals heal from non-fatal wounds at only a slightly faster rate than their bodies would be capable of naturally. Let's see. As these people feel physical sensations and pain to the same extent as they would have in their original body, it is extremely difficult to tell whether an individual is an 800-year immortal or not unless they die, even for the individual themselves. The lifespan of this provisional body is 800 years from the time of its creation. Due to the individual's original body already being lost, not even the mermaid responsible for the original curse is able to dispel it. The individual will only see the end of their long life once 800 years have passed. That fucking sucks. Can you imagine if you were, like, put into a coffin? Like, let's say you were put into a coffin and you slowly regenerate, and then you wake up and you're trapped in the coffin, and then you starve to death, and then you come back to life and just do that for the longest time until someone digs you out, which could not happen. That sucks. That would also make it sound like there's vampires or there's like a zombie in the graveyard, which is kind of cool, you know, don't get me wrong. But I can say this much at least. The mummy you have in your possession is no mermaid. Huh? Bullshit. Ain't no way that's anything other than a mermaid. What I mean to say is that the mummy is a different being from the mermaids who wield this curse. Not all half-fish, half-human beings are mermaids, you see. In fact, calling them all by the same name is what leads to mishaps like this. Mishaps like this one. Mishaps. Sorry. I was just not used to seeing mishaps written out, apparently. Say what? You mean to tell me that that's not a mermaid? That real mermaids are a completely separate thing? That's right. Which is why I can say with confidence that eating its flesh won't make you immortal. Seems you weren't bluffing after all. So what is that thing then? There's gotta be some reason you're after it. I imagine that even if you had it dissected and examined, the results would point to it just being a mass of fibers. In other words, nothing more than a man-made fake. There is a very good reason for that, you see. That mummy is merely the corpse of an average human, twisted beyond recognition by the curse of the Forsaken Fish. What? Another curse? Another curse wielded by mermaids, as it happens. That would be the remains of someone who died under it. It also happens to be the same curse responsible for the mermaids found every few hundred years or so across the country. You see now why we'd rather you handed the mermaid over to us. The poor soul deserves a proper burial, same as anyone else. Surely, even you're not so hard-hearted as to deny them that. Curses this, curses that. It's a bunch of huckum, if you ask me. That said, the report I got from the Research Institute earlier said exactly the same thing. Oh my, I take it you already had the mermaid dissected then. They said it was likely a fake, but I asked if I wanted them to keep going anyway. I told them to keep at it, but it should be clear now that you have nothing to gain from researching that corpse, least of all information on immortality. Won't you consider handing it over? Of course, we could always take you in on charges of abandonment and desecration of a corpse. All right, have it your way. I'm so glad you've come around. Thank you for your cooperation. Yeah, thanks. Perhaps he isn't as fixated on immortality as I thought. That leaves us in a rather unforgivable position. How should we approach this now, I wonder? Oh, we just threatened him. It's pretty cool. Threats. I'll give you the damn mermaid, but in exchange, I want you to tell me one thing. What is it? You say there are real mermaids out there. Where are these real mermaids hiding, then? I suppose you could call it the Eternal World. The Eternal World? Yes, mermaids are not creatures of this world, you see. Their original home is Ryugu. Or Ryuju? Ryugu. The domain of the sea god. Ryugu? And how do you get there? I'm sorry to say that Ryugu's doors are only open to the dead. Going there is impossible for a living human. Ha! You could claim anything with a fairy tale like that. It all sounds like hukum. That said, the entrance to Ryugu is said to lie somewhere in the Ise Sea. There have been numerous sightings of mermaids crossing over to this world in the area's long history. Which is why Ise Bay has its share of mermaid legends too. Now that you mention it, I've heard one of those stories too. An old tale about mermaids being found on some long-lost island called Ise-Shima, or the like. What? Wait a moment. Where did you hear that story? Aha! Caught your interest, have I? Looks like this story has some merit to it after all. I was simply surprised, that's all. It's not a name I've come across in any historical records. Oh. Oh yeah, it's the place, huh? It's gone now, if I recall. An island said to have previously been located to the south of Kamishima, as it has long since vanished. It is sometimes referred to as Taishima, or Lost Island. No official records remain, and it remains shrouded in mystery, with knowledge of it preserved only in tales passed down between residents of the Ise-Shima area. Legends say the island was besieged by someone 400 years prior, and the curse of the murdered islanders caused the entire island to sink. Okay. It's just something I heard from one of the young'uns I have out there looking for mermaids. I see. Sounds like you've got a capable young hand. I don't suppose it would be possible to meet with this individual. Nope, not happening. Unless you're willing to spill the beans on everything you know about mermaids. Every last bit of info. Maybe, just maybe, I'll consider it then. It's clear you're no ordinary housewife after all. Not interested? Then this meeting is over. I'll hand the corpse over to the police as promised. But don't think I've given up on mermaids or immortality. If they really exist, I'll find them and make them mine. We are unimpressed with him, apparently. Oh, we're still going. Wait, can I... Is there a sticker around here? No! Well, there clearly wasn't, though. Afternoon, you say, area? Yeah? Oh, my boy Ide. Hey there, you two. Sorry for calling you out here when you're so busy. Yeah, I'm busy. Figured it'd be best to give you a rundown on our findings as soon as possible. It's no problem. Go ahead. God, this is a long chapter. A message came in from Detective Ide just as we were about to head to Kamishima, so we stopped by to hear what he had to say. Impressively quick work on his part, to be sure. Just hope he has some good information for us. Yeah. And what do we have here? Oh, this? It's a poster advertising Kamishima. Something about it catch your eye? No, I was just thinking. Surely it'd be better to put it somewhere tourists will actually see it. Good point. Maybe they had some posters left over. Yeah, I guess. Poster. Interested in Kamishima, are you? It's nice. It's a nice place. Great tourist spot, too. I recommend it. Thanks, Ide. Despite the heat, Soto looks unruffled as ever. I do hope he isn't just pretending to be alright. I hope not either, Soto. Hope you're okay. This is one of Ise City's residential districts. Right now, the ground is so hot, the air around it seems to be shimmering. Yeah, I guess so. Let's hear what Detective Ide has to say. Yay! Okay. Wondering about my suit, are you? It's just a cheap old thing. Sorry, I don't have anything more presentable. Yeah, Ide, what the fuck? Why aren't you in a tuxedo? Hey, police box. That's just the police box I was waiting at. Something you were wondering about. Oh no, I was just happened to find myself looking at it, that's all. An old lady. Would you rather talk inside? Though there is no air conditioner, so it's probably cooler out here. It's quite alright. Talking out here should be fine. Alright, let's talk, boy. About Yamashina. So, did you manage to meet up with Mr. Yamashina? Yes, thank you again for your help there. It seems he's willing to hand the body over without any fuss. Really? That's great. Still, why would some big shot tycoon go to all that trouble to withhold a body? If everything I've heard is true, he could probably take him in on charges of desecrating a corpse, you know. Or was there something special about that corpse? Observant of you, Detective. I can, of course, explain if you'd like to know more. Wait a second, is that related to the secret department of yours? I think I'm better off not knowing, if so. Oh, really? I don't mind bringing you into the fold. Ma'am, please stop trying to rope him into helping us. Hello, can you be my other assistant? About Yamashima. Yeah, go on. I've never met the guy, but I heard he's quite the cranky old geezer. How'd your meeting go? I'll bet he was pretty wary of you being with the police, but he didn't try to pick a fight or anything, did he? Soto's just like, nah, It wasn't cool. Well, I'm not sure you could say it went smoothly, but I don't think we upset him, at least. Probably. Yeah, what is that? She keeps holding it when she's, like, feeling something. You, don't sound very sure about that. I'm not. About the portrait sketch. Oh, right. That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. So I got all hands on deck to go around asking about that sketch you gave me. We finally found someone who recognized the victim. Oh, that's great news. The person who recognized him was a housewife in her 20s who lived in Kumano 7 years ago. Apparently, the sketch looked like a 19-year-old she knew who left the village to go to the city. So 7 years ago he was 19, no? From the sounds of it, the guy had no relatives to speak of, left the village with nothing but the clothes on his back. She doesn't know what happened to him after that. I see. That would make him a young man with no relatives, who left his hometown behind 7 years ago. Did we get a name for our mystery man? Sure did. His name was Kipei Ikoma. Kipei Ikoma. I looked him up in the residence registry, and it doesn't look like he moved from Kumano to Ise City 7 years ago. But it seems he doesn't live at the place he puts his address anymore. Oh, that's unfortunate. I checked in with the apartment's landlord, and it would seem that about 6 years ago, the landlord had his contract terminated after he failed to both pay his rent and return to his apartment for several months straight. The landlord didn't put out a search request or anything, so that's where the trail ends, I'm afraid. Didn't put out a search request? He just thought they disappeared? Alright. If he went missing 6 years ago, I suppose it wouldn't surprise me if those were his remains. We'll keep looking into Ikoma to see if he was involved in anything that might have led to his murder. Of course, there's always the possibility we've got the wrong guy, so we'll keep asking around just in case. Please do. Yeah! Oh, wait, we read this? Yeah, oh, here it is. This is the new part. Testimonies indicate that the individuals in this sketch resemble a youth by the name of Kipei Ikoma, who went missing 6 years ago. He has no known relatives. Yay! The victims are believed to have been killed by a curse wielded by someone connected to the Hay Cave. Yeah. Let's talk, boy. The woman we spoke to said that sketch was really accurate. No doubt in her mind it was Ikoma. Well, that accurate. Then I'm sure we got the right person. Still, how did you even make that sketch? There was nothing left of the victim but bones. Well, let's just say it's classified for now. Right, guess that means I shouldn't pry any further. But I want you to pry. You're cool. Oh yeah, I looked into that lady you were asking about, Somekawa. Oh yes, did you find anything? Well, it seems she hasn't registered as a resident, even though she moved here 5 years ago. And nothing came up for Somekawa in the civil registry either. I'm afraid I don't have anything on who she is or where she came from. Sorry to disappoint. I see. Is that quite common? Happens. It's not unheard of for folks from countryside to come here for work and just drift on, with no one really knowing who they are. Apparently it was really common during the post-war growth period. It seems we have quite the mystery woman on our hands. Yep, though there is something I've been wondering about. Oh, let's hear it. Yo, wait, 800-year-old... She might be an 800-year-old immortal, because... Wait, I have theory. Where's my mom? That's my mom. Okay. She died. Okay, that's her picture. Okay, I'm gonna put Somekawa now. Oh my god. But you're like the same. You have the same nose. All right. Well. So, did she Wait, okay. Does she sacrifice her body each time? Yeah, but there's... Because, like, I'm thinking all the dead skeletal remains are... It's a guy who's dead. So this one constantly comes back as a dude, I assume. Or is just regenerating pieces of himself. But it sounds like they're different people, so I guess he comes back as a dude. Or maybe it is a ritual. I don't know. You have some idea who she might be? Well, have you ever heard of the Kamishina Southern Sea disaster? Oh, nice. Is it my mom? I mean, who's his mom? It was a big maritime disaster that struck 5 years back. I have, yes. One of the victims of that disaster was an ama diver and housewife from Kamishima by the name of Mare Minakuchi. But it seems her maiden name was Somekawa. Okay, well that... Damn. So our mystery woman shares a surname with the maritime disaster victim. I'm impressed you managed to dig that up. I was already looking into the Kamishima disaster because of the skeletal remains, so it was a happy coincidence, if anything. Oh, so you thought they might be related too. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Anyway, it seems like the bodies of those disaster victims were never found in the end, which got me thinking. Wait, are you saying... Yep. I was thinking Mari Minakuchi could have survived the disaster 5 years ago. And you think she then moved to Ijika and started going by her old name Somekawa again? That's right. What do you think? It seems like a long shot, but maybe? But if that's the case, why would she have stayed in Ijika for 5 whole years without thinking to contact her family? Maybe she lost her memories in the disaster? Right. If she only had her old memories to rely on, it wouldn't be that odd if she went back to using her old name. Surely her appearance would still be the same, though. It is difficult to imagine no one recognizing her for 5 whole years. Yeah, it's possible that she never ran into anyone she knew. The kind of thing's more likely than you'd think. Oh, speaking of appearances, I found a picture of Mari Minakuchi from a report on the disaster. I haven't met this Somekawa myself, so could you take a look for me and let me know what you think? Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. What do you think, Soto? If she aged 5 years and grown badly gaunt, I can certainly see how this woman might come to resemble Miss Somekawa. My thoughts exactly. So, you agree it's a pretty solid theory? It's certainly worth looking into, yes. But if she really is Mari Minakuchi, there's something else that concerns me. Something else? Yeah, what? This is just what I've heard. But it seems like the islanders over on Kamishima think that this Mari Minakuchi was the cause of the disaster 5 years ago. What? Why would they think that? No idea, but it seems like it's pretty much taken for granted by most of the folks over there. Even just mentioning her name is sort of taboo. So I was thinking it wouldn't be that odd if she felt like she couldn't go back home because of that. Surely not. Seems as good as a reason why why she wouldn't want to come forward anyway. If she really is related to the storm 5 years ago, there's a point of interest regarding her connection to the skeletal remains. Perhaps it's worth looking into that first. I can leave the talking to Miss Somekawa to you two then. Oh, can I leave? We'll handle that, yes. All right. Oh. Oh, do I... Wait. No? No? There's not cool stuff around? So, people believe this Mari Minakuchi called forth the curse of the raging waves 5 years ago, do they? I didn't expect the curse of the raging waves to come up here, of all places. Wait. That's it. I remember now. A sole survivor of Taishima, his surname was Somekawa. There was something else about Somekawa. A wooden box? Surely that'd be too much of a coincidence. Well, that's about all I had to report. Thank you, Detective. That was very informative. As for our next move, could we ask you to keep looking into Kipei Ikoma for us? Roger that. We'll see if we can find Somekawa again and hear what she has to say. Unfortunately, it looks like our trip to Kamishima will have to wait until tomorrow. So it seems. Oh, so you had business on Kamishima too? That was actually our original reason for coming here, yes. But now we've gotten caught up in all this other troublesome business, so it looks like we're dealing with So it looks like dealing with that will have to come first. And here I was hoping to get this over with as soon as possible so I can get back home to my husband. I see. You sure are devoted to your husband. Oh, very much, though I do worry he never eats properly when I'm not around. In any case, please do get in touch if you find anything else of note. Even if it's just for something out of the ordinary happening, anything could be of help. Sure, will do. Though you're kind of making me worried something might actually happen now. I'd certainly prefer it if it didn't. Anyway, we're counting on you, Detective. Yeah, that was great. Oh my god, we're still going? Oh my god. It's a long chapter. I'm looking pissed. Well, Soto's there. Bad news, ma'am. It seems we're a step too late. What do you mean? It seems someone came and took the Somekawa woman out to sea just a few minutes ago. What? According to the witness, a foreign man came to the port with Miss Somekawa in tow. They then boarded a motorboat, and that was moored there and headed out to the bay. It didn't appear to be by force, so we can probably assume they knew each other. A foreign man. Not sure what's going on, but we should probably get a boat and follow just in case. Yes, let's see if... Ugh! Soto, what's wrong? Well, what's going on? This spiritual force, it's overwhelming. Ugh! My body won't move. What's going on? Ugh! Oh! That girl over there, is she doing this? Is she a child? You can withstand this curse. You really are quite strong, mister. Sorry, but I can't let you go any further. I'll have to ask you to leave. Voithith Tikos Numa, guardian spirit, grant me the wisdom of Numinous. Oh, high guiding spirit, light my path ahead. It seems like they saved us the effort of searching for them. So it seems. Let's see if this girl can tell us what we want to know. What? What's happening? What's going on? What? 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 Who are you? I could ask the same of you. What do you want with Miss Somekawa? So you know who Miss Somekawa is, do you? Maybe. What's it to you? Ma'am, this girl's spirit sense is extremely potent, but she lacks experience. She seems hesitant to employ curses against people. If I have an opening, I can use my curse of binding to restrain her. Usually it's too risky to use on ordinary people, but that shouldn't apply here. All right, I certainly wouldn't mind getting some information out of her, so this is as good an opportunity as any. I'll see if I can get her to lower her guard. When she wavers, I'll signal for you to use the curse of binding. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan. On your signal. Use Soto Kiryo's curse of binding to restrain your opponent when they let their guard down. Oh no, I have to do this? Press the curse button. You only have 3 chances. What? Okay, well. Can we assume the foreign man who took Miss Somekawa is a friend of yours then? Oh, no. So what if he is? Why are you trying to follow them? What do you want with Miss Somekawa? I could say the same to you. You just want the relic for yourselves, don't you? What? You know about the relic? If you know about the relic, I'm afraid we can't let you get away. Get away? I'm the one holding you here. If you resist any more, we'll have you taken in for obstruction of public duties. Wait, you're with the police? Oh. Despite appearances, yes, defying us could net you quite the heavy punishment. I see, so you must be from Paranormal Affairs. Then I definitely can't do what you say. What? You have quite some nerve standing up to us despite knowing where we're from. Don't think you'll get off lightly for this. Threatening me won't get you anywhere. You can't arrest me unless it's an emergency, right? You're also with Paranormal Affairs, then? Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. I suppose this is the trouble with secret departments. Not even their own members recognize each other. What a bother. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't work. Appease. So we're both from Paranormal Affairs, are we? Let's talk. Perhaps there's some way we can help. I told you I don't know what you're talking about. It's none of your business anyway. Okay. I feel like her guard is only down if she brings down her arms. So, no. Okay. Compliment. Even knowing we're from Paranormal Affairs, you kept a straight face and hid your ties. I can tell you're both bold and smart. Thanks, I guess. Will you give up now? Yeah, I'll give up. Alright, I understand where you're coming from. We won't interfere anymore. Soto, you can stop now. Ma'am? Really? Thanks. Oh, she's cute. Eat shit! Ah, you grown-ups and your dirty tricks! I'm feeling strong. You did well to be cautious of us, but I'm afraid this is how grown-ups get things done. Now, will you tell us what you're up to here? Ugh. Well, I suppose I've slowed you down enough. You'll never catch up to the boat now. Lacas Asteri, guide my path, and with thy merciful hand uphold me. What? She broke the binding. Bye-bye. Ugh, confound it. Stop right there. Looks like she's given us the slip. I doubt we'll be able to catch her now. Still, I'm going to have a word with Paranormal Affairs about that girl. Damn. That was wild. I put in a call to Paranormal Affairs about our errant young lady just now. I see. I assume she's indeed affiliated with them? Yes, it seems her name is Circa Lunarlight. She is an exorcist from England who's come here on exchange, part of her spiritual training, as I understand. The Lunarlight family. I see. Oh, are they well known? I've heard of them, yes. They're a distinguished family of exorcists. Quite an old one, too. It would certainly explain the strength of her spirit sense. Right. In any case, it seems that she's in the care of Paranormal Affairs while she's in Japan. Honestly, I do wish they'd tell us these things in advance. What is she doing here in Mie Prefecture? Well, it seems even Paranormal Affairs isn't sure what she's up to. They've been looking for her. From the sounds of things, she's been skipping her training assignments to travel around Japan, visiting all sorts of spiritual spots instead. It doesn't seem like they're keeping an eye on her at all. Unfortunately not. They asked me to tell her to return to Tokyo when we next see her. I see. More work for us then. Yes, the things we find ourselves caught up in. She seems to know about Somikawa too. I've got a bad feeling about all this. Shall we try looking for her? I imagine she's still in the area. No, not now. If all that is true, I doubt she'll be looking to cause too much trouble. Besides, I'm sure we'll run into each other again eventually. Yeah, she'll be back. Well, I think that's enough trouble for one day. Let's call it a day. We'll head for Kamishina first thing tomorrow. Understood. Wow. Damn. All right, that was That was long. Wait, I just want to quickly check. Whoa, baby! They like each other. Uh-oh. There's like a love polygon. Anyways, very interesting. Yuza, your mom might not be a mermaid. She might be an eternal being. Or a hobo. One of the two. That said, thanks for following along. I'm having a lot of fun and kind of getting back into the spirit of Paranormasight, so it's been good. I'll see you in the next one, and I'll do my best to record these when I can. It's been tough being busy and all, but hey, I'll get there. Anyways, till the next time.